Hello everyone, good morning to all of you. Quickly let me know the screen is visible to all of you. Good morning. We are having here Ashwa. Good morning, Ashwa. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Pranush. Good morning, Bhavya. Good morning, Sarthak. Good morning, Vedvya. Sorry, beta, if I got little late to initiate the class. Kal se timely we will be having the class at 8 o'clock. And complete syllabus GK questions we are going to revise here. Okay, on a regular basis. So good evening, not good evening, sorry, good morning to all of you. Okay, now let us get started with the class. All of you, before starting, you have to quickly let me know the screen, the questions are visible to you clearly and my voice is clear. The questions we are going to revise. Okay, the voice is clear. I have just checked it. तो चलिए हम start करते हैं with the today's class. Okay, so target everyone. Screen is visible. Okay, thank you so much, Ashwa. Now we will be starting the target everyone that we have for today's classes. That हम try करेंगे कि हम 50 questions कर पाए. Okay, so let us get started and okay. So everyone, we are starting with the question number one. The question number one that we have is, which one among the following instruments is used to detect the purity of milk? All of you, you have to give answers in the question. Okay. Get started. Which one among the following instruments is used to detect the purity of milk? Purity of milk को detect करने के लिए हम कौन सा जो instrument होता है that we use? You can give your answers. Good morning, Mihir. Option A, hydrometer. Option B, speedometer. Option C, lactometer. Or option D, calorimeter. You can give me the answers. Which of the following instruments is used to detect the purity of milk? Purity of milk के लिए हम कौन सा instrument use करते हैं? Hydrometer, speedometer, lactometer or calorimeter. Okay, so as you can see everyone, question किसके लिए पूछ रहा है? Question is asking about the purity of milk. What is question asking for? Question is asking us about the purity of milk. Okay, so when we are talking about the purity of milk, so you must keep in mind that purity of milk के लिए very commonly the term that we use is lacto. So the device that we are going to use in order to detect the purity of milk is lactometer. Lactometer we are using to detect purity of milk, and here we can see that Ashwa and everyone have answered correctly. Okay, Ashwa, Pranush, Sarthak, all of you have answered correctly. Hydrometer हम याद रखेंगे. Hydrometer is associated with a device that is associated with water. Speedometer is a device. ये किससे associated है? It is associated with the speed of vehicles. Okay, with the speed of vehicles we have speedometer. And calorimeter we use in order to measure the quantity of heat. जब भी हमको heat का quantity measure करना होता है, for that purpose we use calorimeter. The next question we have is barometer is used for. Why do we use barometer? To view the distant objects, to measure electricity, to measure humidity in air, or to measure atmospheric pressure. क्या reason है? For which reason? For what reason we are using the barometer? Barometer हम क्यों use करते हैं? Barometer is used to. What is the purpose of using barometer? Question number 2. Viewing distant objects, to measure electricity, to measure humidity in air, or to measure atmospheric pressure. Okay, Mihir is saying option D. So barometer, everyone, keep in mind, measuring atmospheric pressure. Whenever we have to measure the pressure of atmosphere, atmosphere क्या होता है? Atmosphere is the envelope of gases surrounding the earth. Okay, the envelope of gases that surrounds the earth, that is called as atmosphere. In the atmosphere, you look maximum percentage, close to 78% is nitrogen. उसके बाद we have oxygen, 21% is oxygen. Sometimes a question comes that which is the only noble gas or stable gas present in atmosphere, तो हम ध्यान रखेंगे argon. Argon is the only noble gas or stable gas that is present in atmosphere. In order to view distant objects, हम कौन सा device use करते हैं? Whenever we have to view distant objects, the device we use for this purpose is binoculars. Okay, कौन सा device हम use करते हैं? We use binoculars. In order to measure electricity, the device we use is electrometer. Okay, and the last one is in order to measure the humidity in air. In order to measure humidity in air, हम use करते हैं hygrometer. Okay, so correct answer for the question will be option D, measuring atmospheric pressure. Correctly answered. Argon is the correct answer. Mihir, that the noble gas in atmosphere. The next question is, cardiogram is associated with what? Cardiogram किससे associated है? In the today's class, we are mainly focusing on the questions from the topic scientific device. Okay, tomorrow we'll be doing the questions from national icons and symbols. Okay, so cardiogram is associated with heart, kidney, lungs, or eyes. What is cardiogram associated with? Very good. First answer is given by Bhavya. So in the cardiogram, we have used the word cardio. Cardiogram में हमने क्या word use किया? In the cardiogram, we have used the word cardio. And what does the word cardio stands for? The word cardio here stands for heart. Cardio word किसके लिए stand करता है? The word cardio stands for heart. So cardiogram is associated with what? Cardiogram is associated with heart. This we must keep in mind. Very good, all of you. The next question number we have got is fourth. Which instrument is used to view the magnified view of distant objects? कौन सा instrument हम use करते हैं in order to view the magnified view of distant objects? In order to view the magnified view of distant objects, which instrument are we using? Odometer, binoculars, lactometer और microscope. कौन सा instrument हम use करते हैं in order to view the magnified view of distant objects? Good. First answer is given by Mihir. Second is Bhavya. Very good, all of you. Magnified view of distant objects. What is the meaning of distance? Distance का मतलब क्या होता है? Any object that is present at a distance. कोई भी ऐसा object जो कहाँ present है? Which is present at a distance. That is called distant. Okay. So in order to have magnified view of distant objects, so device हम use करते हैं. The device is binoculars. Binoculars is the device that we use in order to view the magnified view of distant objects. Okay. Microscope is also a device that gives us the magnified view. Microscope भी हमको क्या देता है? Microscope as well provides us a magnified view, but it provides us the magnified view of small objects. Whenever we have to have the magnified view of small objects, in that condition the device we use is microscope. But when we want the magnified view of distant objects, उस condition में हम क्या use करते हैं? We use binoculars. Next is odometer. Odometer, all of us know, we have learned this, और ये सैनिक स्कूल एंट्रेंस एग्जाम का एक प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन भी है, that it is used to measure the distance traveled by vehicle. How much distance a vehicle is traveling? वो distance हम किसके थ्रू मेजर करते हैं? We measure it with the help of odometer. Okay, and lactometer, we just did the first question. Lactometer is associated with measuring the purity of milk. तो आपको चारों devices जो है उनके यहाँ पे याद रखना है. Okay. Yes, B was the right answer, Ashwa. The next question is, which device is used to measure the distance traveled by a vehicle? I have just told you the answer. Which device is used to measure the distance traveled by a vehicle? If we have to measure what distance is being traveled by a vehicle, किसी vehicle ने कितना distance travel किया, अगर हमको वो measure करना है तो हम क्या use करेंगे? Which device we are going to use? Speedometer, lactometer, distance meter or odometer? D, very good. Very quickly you are answering me here. Good. Distance used to measure, device used to measure the distance traveled by vehicle. Distance traveled by vehicle के लिए हम कौन सा device use करते हैं? So always keep in mind distance. Distance के लिए the device we use is odometer. Which device we are using? We are using odometer. So correct answer for the question will be option D, odometer. Speedometer हम क्यों use करते हैं? Speedometer is used to measure the speed of vehicle. ओके, बाय व्हाट स्पीड अ व्हीकल इज रनिंग, उस व्हीकल की कितनी स्पीड है उसको मेजर करने के लिए आप यूज करते हैं स्पीडोमीटर. लैक्टोमीटर वी आर यूजिंग फॉर प्योरिटी ऑफ मिल्क. प्योरिटी ऑफ मिल्क के लिए कौन सा डिवाइस यूज करेंगे? द डिवाइस फॉर प्योरिटी ऑफ मिल्क इज लैक्टोमीटर. एंड डिस्टेंस मीटर देयर इज नो सच डिवाइस. ओके, डू नॉट गेट कंफ्यूज कि क्वेश्चन में डिस्टेंस दिया है, ऑप्शन में भी डिस्टेंस दिया है, बट देयर इज नो सच डिवाइस एज डिस्टेंस मीटर. गुड मॉर्निंग आयशा. ओके, so correct answer for the question is odometer. Odometer हम use करते हैं to measure the distance, and this is a previous year question of Sainik school entrance exam. 2 times अलग-अलग years में question पूछा गया है. So scientific devices is a topic which you cannot skip under any condition. Okay, so you have to carefully do this topic. The next question number 6. Which one among the following instruments is used in aircrafts? Which one among the following instruments is used in aircrafts. इनमें से कौन सा जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है हम उसको कहाँ यूज करते हैं? We are using it in aircrafts. And for what purpose we are using? We are using it to measure high altitudes. Okay, so all of you are going to give answer for this question, and by the time I will let you know what is the meaning of altitude. So when we study about this device, we get introduced to a word called altitude. Altitude का मतलब क्या होता है? Altitude is height of anything taken from sea level. जब भी हम किसी की height, okay, whenever we take the height of any object, whenever we are taking the height of any object from the sea level, okay, height of anything taken from sea level. So that height is referred to as what? That height is referred to as altitude. Sea level, always keep in mind, sea level हमेशा हमेशा कैसे होता है? Sea level is always zero. So altitude क्या होगा? Altitude is height of anything taken from the sea level. Sea level से जब हम किसी चीज की height लेते हैं, that is referred to as altitude. तो ये आपको बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान रखना है. So when you are saying like Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, so the 8848 meters जो हम Mount Everest की height कहते हैं, that is not actually the height of Mount Everest. Rather, what is that? That is the altitude of Mount Everest, okay? Because the height is taken from sea level. Now the question is asking which device we are using to measure altitude. So altitude के लिए the device is altimeter, okay? Which device we use for this purpose? The device we use for this purpose is altimeter. Altitude meter कोई device नहीं होता है. Altitude scope भी ऐसा कोई device नहीं होता है. Altimeter is the device. आपको क्या ध्यान रखना है? The device we have here is altimeter. The next question we have got here is question number 107 that says instrument used for the measurement of temperature. कौन सा instrument हम use करते हैं in order to measure the temperature? बेटा if we'll have a look at the previous year question, we'll come to realize कि ये जो question है ये last year के exam में ही पूछा गया था. That which instrument is used to detect the body temperature. Temperature को measure करने के लिए हम क्या use करते हैं? So always keep in mind in the science, whenever you are getting the word thermo, that means thermo word has got something to do with temperature. So temperature के लिए हम कौन सा device use करेंगे? Will we be using thermostat, thermometer, regulator or stethoscope? Which device we are going to use for measurement of temperature? So all of you are answering correctly here. Good. Pranush, good. Bhavya. Good Ashwa, very good. Good Sathak. Which device we are using for this purpose? Thermometer को हम use करते हैं in order to measure the temperature of the body, okay? And to hear the heart sound whenever a doctor has to hear the sound of our heart. For that purpose, doctor they use a stethoscope. But for measurement of temperature, हम क्या use करते हैं? For the measurement of temperature, the device we have is thermometer. Now we must keep in mind that what is the normal body temperature of a human being? For a human being, the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. हमारी body का normal conditions में temperature क्या होता है? It is 37 degrees Celsius. And there are three temperature scales. What is the meaning of temperature scale? Temperature scale means there are three units to measure temperature. And उसको आप कैसे याद रखोगे? Like K, F and C. The very popular food chain. K stands for what? K stands for Kelvin. Okay, what does K stands for? K stand for Kelvin. तो K से कौन सा होगा? K stands for Kelvin, F stands for Fahrenheit and C stands for Celsius. Okay, C will stand for what? C stands for Celsius. तो ये भी आपको ध्यान रखना है. इसमें भी क्वेश्चन यहाँ से पूछा जा सकता है what is the SI unit or standard unit of temperature measurement? So we'll be answering that SI unit or the standard unit of temperature measurement is Kelvin. Kelvin is the SI unit. Okay. The next question, question number 108. Which of the following instruments is used to detect the intensity of earthquake? इनमें से कौन सा जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है वो हम यूज करते हैं in order to detect the intensity of earthquake? earthquake की intensity को detect करने के लिए कौन सा इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज किया जाएगा? Seismograph, seismometer, seismometer or spherometer? Get started. Which instrument is used to detect the intensity of earthquake? Yes, Pranush. KFC. K for Kelvin, F for Fahrenheit, C for Celsius. Which instrument is used to detect intensity of earthquake? Earthquake के लिए question है, okay? So this question, this particular device, ये हमारे दो topics cover करता है. First topic of the syllabus, scientific devices, and the second topic is natural calamities or natural disasters. Okay, this topic also it covers. So which device is used to detect intensity of earthquake? Earthquake की intensity को कौन सा device cover करता है? Now earthquake, okay, हिंदी में हम इसको कहते हैं भूकंप. For earthquake, the device or before device एक हम term use करते हैं that is called as seismo. Okay, the term that we use for earthquake is seismo. So seismo word anywhere you are finding, it is associated with earthquake. So seismograph is the device that we use for the purpose of measuring intensity of earthquake. Earthquake की intensity को measure करने के लिए हम use करते हैं seismograph. Seismometer तो नहीं होगा. Salinometer is used to measure the salinity of. Okay, salinometer is used to measure the salinity of a solution. Now, what is the meaning of salinity? Salinity का मतलब होता है amount of salt present in a liquid. किसी water में कितना salt present है, that is called as salinity, or we also called as saline. So everyone, I have a question for you that you have to answer here, that which water body is the most saline? सबसे ज्यादा salinity किस water body की है? Which water body is the most saline water body? Which water body contains the maximum amount of salt? सबसे ज्यादा salt कहाँ पे present होता है? Which water body has maximum amount of salt? All of you have given a correct answer for this question, but now you must answer my question, that which water body has maximum amount of salt in it? We all have studied about it. हम सभी ने इसके बारे में पढ़ा है, but let us see who recalls it. And the first person to recall this is Bhavya. Very good, Bhavya. Okay, the most salinity is present in Dead Sea. Okay, good, Manasvi. Good morning. डेड सी, सबसे ज्यादा सैलिनिटी कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है? इट इज द डेड सी. डेड सी कंटेन्स द मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ सैलिनिटी. सबसे ज्यादा सैलिनिटी आपको कहाँ पे देखने मिलेगा? डेड सी. सो दिस ऑल्सो यू मस्ट keep in mind. Good, all of you. Coming towards the next question, question number 109. What is the use of endoscope? Endoscope को हम क्यों use करते हैं? Endoscope is used to detect the purity of milk. Endoscope is used to detect the pressure of gas, electric power, or endoscope is used to study the internal parts of the body. What is the reason why we are using endoscope? Endoscope को हम क्यों use करते हैं? Ocean is correct, बेटा वेदव्यास, but in the ocean also we have to be very like keenly precise. In the ocean too, it is the Dead Sea that contains the maximum amount of salt concentration. The water of Dead Sea is the most saline. Okay. Okay, coming towards the next question. Endoscope is used to detect purity of milk, pressure of gas, electric power, or internal parts of the body. Everyone answered correctly here. It is used to detect the internal parts of the body. No further discussion required here because we have studied about this. कि endo का मतलब क्या होता है? What does endo actually means? Endo means, just a moment, okay. What does endo means? Endo means internal. So endoscope will be used for what? Endoscope will be used to detect the internal parts of the body. Good. So what is going to be the correct answer here? The correct answer for the question will be endoscope. Okay. Good. The next question, question number 110. What is the use of hygrometer? Hygrometer को हम क्यों use करते हैं? What is the use of hygrometer? Why we have to use hygrometer? Hygrometer हमको क्यों use करना पड़ता है? Why we have to use hygrometer in a device? In order to measure pressure of gas, purity of milk, humidity in air, or sound of water. So every one of us will be keeping this in mind that yes. So every one of us will be keeping this in mind that there are two words, hygro and then there is hydro. हाइग्रो का मतलब क्या होता है? हाइग्रो मीन्स ह्यूमिडिटी. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ हाइग्रो? हाइग्रो मीन्स ह्यूमिडिटी. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ हाइड्रो? हाइड्रो मीन्स वाटर. सो हाइग्रो का मतलब होता है ह्यूमिडिटी. हाइड्रो का मतलब क्या होता है? हाइड्रो मीन्स वाटर. So hygrometer will do what? Hygrometer will measure the humidity in air. Hygrometer क्या करेगा? Hygrometer will measure the humidity in air. Good evening, good morning, Raghu. Correct answer for the question is option C. Okay, D will not be the answer, बेटा. Hydrophone नहीं होगा. Okay, sound of water के लिए you are correct, but the device for sound of water we use is hydrophone. Okay, have a look here. Which device we are using? We are using hydrophone for sound of water. Hygrometer for humidity in air. For pressure of gases, it is manometer, and for purity of milk we have learned it is lactometer. Okay, कैसे आप याद रख सकते हो? Sound comes from phone, right? So if the term phone is given, that means we are talking about sound underwater. The next question: which among the following instruments was developed and invented by Alexander Graham Bell? Which instrument was invented by Alexander Graham Bell? Alexander Graham Bell ने कौन से इंस्ट्रूमेंट का इन्वेंशन किया था? माइक्रोवेव, मोटरसाइकिल, पियानो एंड टेलीफोन. Which instrument was invented by Alexander Graham Bell? Microwave, motorcycle, piano, and telephone. Which instrument was invented by Alexander Graham Bell? For any one of you who are joining the session for the first time, make sure आपने session को like कर दिया हो and you have also subscribed the channel so that every day when we'll be going live, you will be notified first. Okay. Good. Correctly answered all of you. Ashwa, you are little incorrect here. Alexander Graham Bell was a very famous inventor and he is credited with the invention of telephone. उन्होंने किसका invention किया था? He was credited with the invention of telephone. Telephone का invention उन्होंने किया था. So what is going to be the right answer for question? The correct answer for the question will be telephone. Option D. Telephone is the right answer. The next question: which one among the following instruments is used to observe and magnify small objects? Which one among the following instruments is used to magnify and observe small objects? So small objects को magnify करके observe करने के लिए which instrument we are using? Microscope, endoscope, manometer, dynamometer. Which instrument is used to look? Again the term is given, magnify. I told you magnify term आपको दो बार देखने मिलेगा. One, it is for distant objects. If it is for distant objects, then you will say binoculars. But if it is for small objects, then you will say microscope. उस condition में हम क्या कहेंगे? In this condition, we'll be saying microscope. Okay. इवनिंग क्लासेस भाव्या जैसे होते हैं वो ऐप पर ही होंगे. मॉर्निंग के जो क्लासेस होंगे दैट विल बी हैविंग ऑन YouTube. Okay, we have used the term micro. What is the meaning of micro? Micro का मतलब क्या होता है? Micro means something that is extremely small. That is referred to as micro. Okay, so correct answer for the question is option A, microscope. The next question: what is the main function of stethoscope? Stethoscope का main function क्या होता है? Hearing heart sound, absorbing heart movement, measuring blood pressure, or all of these. What is the main function of stethoscope? What is the main function of stethoscope? Hearing heart sound, observing heart movement, measuring blood pressure, or all of these. What is the main function of stethoscope? Stethoscope का main function क्या होगा? Very good, Vedvyas. You have answered correctly and you are also the first one to answer for this. Second is Shri Raghu. Third is Ashwa. So stethoscope. Stethoscope is used to hear heart sounds. Heart sound को hear करने के लिए. To observe heart movement, the device we use is cardiogram. Okay. And to measure blood pressure, the device we use is sphygmomanometer. Okay, this is the device we use for blood pressure. What is the normal blood pressure of human being? The normal blood pressure of human being is 120 to 80 mm of Hg. Clear? This much you must keep in mind. Manasri, beta D answer नहीं होगा. Answer होगा option A. Next question: which device is used to measure blood pressure? Which device is used to measure blood pressure? Blood pressure को measure करने के लिए हम कौन सा device use करते हैं? Barometer, sphygmomanometer, sonometer और manometer. Which device we use to measure blood pressure? Blood pressure measurement के लिए कौन सा device हम use करते हैं? Barometer, sphygmomanometer, sonometer और manometer. Correct, Vedvyas. Good. That's right. सार्थक बेटा ए क्यों आंसर होगा? अभी मैंने बताया ना, we are talking about blood pressure, we are talking about BP. Correct. Pranush is also right here. Shri Raghu is also right here. The device we are going to use is sphygmomanometer. कौन सा device हम use करते हैं? The device we use is sphygmomanometer to measure the blood pressure. Normal blood pressure हमने अभी discuss किया. It is 120 to 80 mm of Hg. What is the meaning of Hg here? Hg here stands for mercury. Hg किसके लिए stand करता है? Hg stands for mercury, and mercury we must keep in mind. इसके लिए question पूछा जा सकता है that it is one of the only liquid metal at room temperature. Room temperature पे ये जो metal होता है, any metal you see at the room temperature, iron, copper, they are solid, but mercury is in the liquid form. So mercury is the only liquid metal at room temperature. Room temperature पे mercury किस form में होता है? At room temperature, mercury is in the form of liquid. Okay. Now one more question. Give me a device. Name a device in which we use mercury. Name a device in which mercury is used. किस device में हम mercury को use करते हैं? Name a device in which we use mercury. किस device में हम mercury को use करते हैं? Yes. What will be the answer, everyone? किस device में हम mercury को use करते हैं? Thermometer. Very good, Manasvi. Okay. So thermometer, in addition to sphygmomanometer, in thermometer as well, the device in thermometer as well, what do we use? We use mercury. Okay, this is Ved Vyas's sister, Vaishnavi. Okay, good morning, Vaishnavi. You are also preparing and studying along with the Ved Vyas. That's really good to know. Okay. Yes, so correct answer will be mercury. Good. The next question, a device that is used to observe distant objects above sea level. The device that is used to, here absorb is written, we'll write observe. Okay, a device that is used to observe distant objects above sea level. A device that is used to observe distant objects. यहाँ पे वो देखिए distant objects given है, but we are very specific that we are talking about above sea level. Device used to observe objects above sea level, speedometer, lactometer, calorimeter और periscope. कौन सा device हम use करते हैं? Option D. Very good, Ved Vyas. Good, Sarthak. Which device we use to see objects above sea level? The device we use to see objects above sea level is periscope. Periscope को हम use करते हैं to see objects above sea level. Okay. And very commonly, where is periscope used? Periscope का use हमको देखने मिलता है in submarines. Okay, in the submarines, underwater submarines, we see periscope. No, first one was Vedvyas, second was Sarthak, third was Vaishnavi, fourth was Pranush, and fifth was Ashwa. Okay, that was the correct order. Beta B nahi hoga Manasvi. B is lactometer. Lactometer is for purity of milk. Question is asking for objects above sea level. The next question, which of the following device you will use in order to observe the stars on a clear night sky? Whenever we have to observe the stars on a clear night sky, आप कौन सा device use करोगे? In order to observe stars on a clear night sky, that means we are looking where? That means we are looking in space. That means we are looking in sky. Which device will be using for this purpose? Periscope, microscope, telescope, none of these. Periscope, microscope, telescope, none of these. C, correct. Telescope. Okay, telescope हम use करेंगे. Periscope is for objects above sea level. Microscope is for small objects. Right answer will be option C. Question number 117. Which of the following instruments is used to measure the depth of ocean? Which of the following instruments is used to measure the depth of ocean? Depth of ocean means how deep a ocean is at a certain point. कहाँ पे कोई ocean का level है, कितना deep है? How we'll get to know it? Like we say, Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean. Mariana Trench is the deepest point in the ocean. So how we got to know it? We cannot use a scale to measure it. हमने कोई device use किया होगा. With the help of that device, we would have got to know that Mariana Trench is deepest. So which is that device? Is it hydrometer, fathometer, lactometer or calorimeter? So correct answer for the question is always. Why it will be hydrometer? It will be fathometer, beta. Fathometer is used to observe the depth of ocean. Depth of ocean हम किसके through find करते हैं? It is through fathometer. Okay. So correct answer will be what? It will be option B, fathometer. The next question, question number 108. Who invented the aeroplane? Aeroplane was invented by one of the greatest inventions that we can say till now, that has made transport so much easier. You can travel from India to any point in the world with the help of an airplane or aeroplane. Who were the inventors of aeroplane? Left brothers, Wright brothers, Nikola Tesla, or none of these? who were the inventors of aeroplane. Aeroplane के inventors कौन थे? Good. First here is Vedvyas, second is Vaishnavi, third is Sarthak, fourth is Mihir. Good. Okay. So, Wright brothers, Oliver Wright and Wilbur Wright. What were the names of the brothers? It was Oliver Wright and Wilbur Wright. Both of them are credited with the invention of airplane. The next question. Which of the following device is used by doctors? Which of the following devices used by doctors? Doctors कौन सा device use करते हैं? Stethoscope, endoscope, periscope or both A and B? Which of these devices used by doctors? Stethoscope, endoscope, periscope or both A and B? Which devices used by doctors? Doctors कौन से device use करेंगे? Stethoscope, endoscope, periscope, both A and B. Everyone is answering B for 19th question. No, B will not be answer. D is correct. Vedvyas is right here. A nahi hoga always. B will also not be the answer. Vaishnavi is also correct. Read the questions carefully, beta. Stethoscope. Stethoscope को क्यों use किया जाता है? Stethoscope is used to hear heart sound. Who used stethoscope? Doctors use stethoscope. Endoscope. Why we are using it? Endoscope is used to study internal organs of the body. Let us say हमारी body के अंदर कोई injury हो गया, we are having ulcer somewhere is bleeding or anything like that. So doctors will use this device called endoscope और endoscope को use करके वो क्या करेंगे? They'll help to identify where the injury is. So we cannot use endoscope. It is the doctors who can use it. They are specialized and trained to do it. So both the devices, stethoscope as well as endoscope, who will be using it? It will be used by doctors. उनको कौन use करेगा? It will be used by doctors. The next question, 120. Which of the following instrument is used to measure speed of vehicle? ये measure नहीं होगा. This is measure. Okay, by the way, every one of you saw the news. Sunita Williams is now returned back to Earth. She was there in the International Space Station from around the 9 months. She went there for an 8-day mission, but due to some technicalities, some technical faults with the spacecraft, she had to stay there with her other teammates for like 9 months. And after 9 months, now finally she is back to Earth. How many of you heard about this news? Every newspaper's front page was covered with this news. Anyone observed this or saw the news? Okay, Bhavya, I have seen and heard about this in the news. Okay, good. So, which of the following instrument is used to measure speed of vehicle? A will be the answer. Good. Okay, correct, Pranush, Vedvyas. All of you are correct. Speed of vehicle, speedometer. Manasvi and Mihir also heard about it. That's good. Okay, so this is also beta previous year question. पूछा गया एग्जाम में, हम ध्यान रखेंगे. Next question. Which of the following is not a sense organ? Okay, everyone, all the students have heard about it. Manasvi and Ashwa as well. Good. Which of the following is not a sense organ? इनमें से क्या एक sense organ नहीं है? Eyes, brain, ears and nose. Sense organ. Our body contains 5 major sense organs. Okay, and we know what are the sense organs. They are eyes, ears, nose, then we have skin, and then we have tongue. These are our sense organ. Brain हमारा sense organ नहीं है. So right answer for the question will be option B. Brain. Brain is not a sense organ. Question number 122. Which of the following is also known as visual organ of the body? इनमें से हम किसको कहते हैं visual organ of the body? Eyes, nose, lips, ear, which is known as visual organ of the body. What is the meaning of term visual? Visual means vision. Visual stands for vision. Vision का मतलब in Hindi we call it किसी चीज को देखना, to see something. That is mainly what vision is about. So visual organs of the body. Visual organs of the body हम किसको कहेंगे? Eyes, nose, lips or ears. Very good. Vedvyas is correct here. Ashwa, B will not be the answer. Then Shri is also right here. Good. Vaishnavi is also right here. Eyes. Eyes are the visual organs of the body. Visual organs of the body क्या होते हैं? Eyes. Eyes are the visual organs of the body and we have one. We, not just we, almost all the animals on the surface of earth have one pair of eyes. One pair means two. The question में आपको आ सकता है two eyes or one pair. So don't get confused that ma'am had told two. Ma'am has said two eyes, or if two eyes is not given, so one pair. तो pair अगर होगा तो one, and number अगर होगा so two. Okay. Similarly, 123. Whiskers of tiger are sensitive to. Whiskers of tiger sensitive क्यों होते हैं? For vibrations in air, for movement in air, for both A and B, for none of these. Why are whiskers in tigers sensitive? What makes the whiskers tiger? What are whiskers? Very first of all, for all the students who have studied in our classes, उनको पता होगा. But those who are like for here for the first time, so have a look. On the face of cat, on the face of dog, you see like small hairs like this. इनको हम कहते हैं whiskers, and whiskers are like the most sensitive part of these animals. And whiskers किसके लिए sensitive होते हैं? They are sensitive to vibration in air, they are sensitive to movements in air, making option C both A and B the correct answer. Okay, so whiskers are sensitive for both. They are sensitive for movements in air as well. They are sensitive for the vibrations in air. The next question, question number 124. Dogs are helpful in the crime scene due to their super sense of. Dogs are helpful in their crime scene due to their super sense of. Everyone, this question, have a look. What is given? Super sense पूछा है question में. Question is not saying sense of. So dog has all the senses: vision, smell, hearing. But what is the super sense of the dog? Dog का super sense क्या होगा? What will be the super sense of dog? Yes, Pranush. Correctly answered always. The super sense of dog is hearing. Super sense है dog का नहीं. Smelling is the super sense of dog. What is the super sense of dog? Super sense of dog is to smell the things. In addition to this, smell is also present in ant. Last year a question was there in the Sainik school entrance exam that which one among the following organism has a super sense of smell? And जब भी smell का term आता है, all of us we think about dogs. But the thing was, option में तो dog given ही नहीं था. What was given in the option? Ant was given. And we have learned that ants move in line because of a sense of smell. Ants can identify their friends due to the sense of smell. So super sense of ants also is smell. And the last question of today is question number 25. Why is tongue helpful? Tongue क्यों helpful है? Tongue is helpful to detect different noise, different people, different color, different taste. What makes tongue helpful? Tongue क्यों इतना helpful है? Tongue is helpful to detect different noise, different people, different color, different taste. So by the time you will answer the question, I'll give you some facts about tongue that will be helpful in your exam preparation. So tongue is one of the strongest muscle in our body. Okay, and tongue is a muscular organ. Muscular organ means it is only and only made up of muscle cells. ये सिर्फ किससे बना है? ये सिर्फ muscle cells से बना है. Secondly, in animals such as dogs, tongue और किस में help करता है? Tongue helps to control the body temperature. Okay, so tongue also helps to control temperature of body in the animals such as dog. So why is tongue helpful? Tongue is helpful to detect the different taste. That is option D. So correct answer for the question is option D. Okay. नहीं बेटा, इसकी second class नहीं रहेगी. And so in the evening, just like how we have the regular classes, they will be there 5 p.m. onwards, and in the evening by 9 or somewhat, I'll let you know. We will also schedule a YouTube class also. So that will be for the question practice. Exclusively हम वहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? We will be doing question practice on that. Okay, तो वो YouTube पे होगी. And just like how you have your app classes 5 p.m. onwards, वो जो ऐप पे क्लासेस होते हैं they will be there. Okay. Okay, so everyone, today is this class. Now we are going to sum up. कल की morning class will start sharp at 8 o'clock. Okay, so that we'll have 1 hour class 8 to 9. And evening में YouTube पे ही class रहेगी 9 o'clock पे. उसके लिए I will inform you. I'll schedule the class. Question practice के लिए वो रहेगी. And 5 p.m. just like 9 a.m. नहीं 9 p.m. भाव्या p.m. रात को 9 बजे. ठीक है? So bye all of you. And we'll be meeting once again in the evening. and all the best for the class. Bye everyone.